What's going on, everybody? This is Yusef Scott. I want to thank all of you near and far from all across the world for being here with me today, taking part in this video. Alright, those of you who have just recently signed up or have recently found me online, I want to thank you. I don't know how you guys are finding me, but I know that I'm being found online somehow or another. And I want to thank all of you, because many of you have contacted me, so thank you so much for doing so. This is another video that I want to share with you all so you can gain more knowledge. All right. Now let me tell you guys. A lot of you have subscribed to my channel just recently. I want to thank you for doing so. All right. I have many people who are loyal to my channel, watching each and every one of my videos. I want to thank you too. Just as well as those of you who have just found me for the first time and you've decided to watch my videos because there was something about my content or something about my style that resonated well with you, alright? It attracted you. Now I want to let you guys know that I'm going to do something a little different today. If you notice, I have my easel here and I want to try something a little different. I mentioned before, maybe with my students or maybe in a previous video, that I was going to incorporate an easel into the mix. Now that I have things back in order, and just want to let you guys know we're going to take things more hands-on from here on out. All right, I'm going to every once in a while incorporate the easel with different demonstrations so that you guys can get a better idea of exactly how it is. All right, now let me explain this to you all. Many of you are finding me, or many of you have found me with absolutely no knowledge of Forex. Okay, and that's all right. I don't want you all to become overwhelmed thinking that you need to know absolutely everything about Forex in order to turn a profit. I will be the first one to tell you that I do not know everything about Forex, but I happen to realize and comprehend and analyze and understand the market quite well. Very confident with explaining exactly how the market moves. I don't have an issue with that. Now that's because there are certain things about the market that I don't care to put a lot of emphasis on, simply because there's a lot of information that's just surfacing around the internet that's just really useless about the market. So there's something about when you go to college, all right. When you go to college, there's a lot of information that's taught in college that you'll never use out into the real world. This is the real world. When you trade Forex, that's the real world. So those topics that I feel that are not too important, I'm not going to waste your time. If you want to learn more about those topics, whatever those topics might be, there are plenty of other sources online that you can feast your brain, you can feast on, let's say that. So basically what this video is going to be about today is I'm going to take things a little differently. All right, for those of you who are brand new, this is going to be a video on if you want to learn how to lose in a market. All right, I want you to do exactly the opposite of what I'm going to show you today. Alright, so basically this video is going to be about how to lose, alright, how to fail at trading Forex. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down a number of items here that I feel that will help you lose in the market. Alright, so number one, one of the biggest reasons, alright, Forex traders they lose in the market is, and I'm going to write this down, we have a number of reasons, but one of the reasons that many Forex traders they lose is, let me ask you, what do you think? Give you 5 seconds. That's it. One of the number one reasons people lose in the market is poor volume control. That's one of the reasons people they lose in the market. They do not control their volume. Now, I'm not going to put these in order of you know, what's more likely to be the reason people they lose, but poor volume control is very, it's a very big part of why people they lose so often in the market. What happens with that is people will find themselves on a winning streak, and then they feel like they can't lose, and they say, well, shoot, if I'm trading $2 a pip, let me double it. Let me trade at $4 a pip. And then they increase the volume just for the market to go against them. All right? And you know, that happens all too often. Or they're losing in the market, and they find themselves chasing a loss, and they might be trading at $2 a pip, and in order for them to, you know, regain or recoup their losses, they will go in the opposite direction of their losing trade, increasing their volume, all right, doubling their volume, or just increasing it. And what will happen is the market may go against that direction, back in the original direction. Now you have two trades open, running in the opposite direction, and both of them are out of the money. So, you know, that's another reason for, you know, volume control is very important. When you learn to trade at the proper volume, which is one of the things that I teach in our training, you know, when you become a student, you'll learn the proper volume to trade at based on the amount of currency that's in your trading account. All right, I teach my students the proper volume to be trading. All right, and not only that, there's another part of this that I'm going to mention that goes hand in hand with volume control. All right. Now, another reason why students tend to lose, or traders worldwide tend to, well, let's say another way that you can fail at Forex. If you want to fail at Forex, another way you can fail at Forex is this. All right. So the first one we have is poor volume control. The next one we can put down, let's go with no plan or system. All right? No plan or system. That will be another way for you to lose, okay? If you do not, like people say, if you do not plan, you know, you're basically setting yourself up for failure, you know. So you have to have some type of plan or system in place so that you can, you know, so you can be governed by, so you can, basically you need a blueprint, all right? And without that map as to where to go, you're going to be lost, all right? So it's very important that you have a plan or have some type of system that can guide you into your success, all right, in trading. And that too is something that I offer my students here with the So Darn Easy Forex movement. Out of the membership, you're going to get a plan, or you're going to get you're going to be able to utilize my system so that you can gain the confidence, all right? Now, another reason or another way that you could fail, all right? Another way you can become a failure, or you can find failure in the market would be, let's say, now remember, if you're brand new, all right, if you're brand new, I don't expect you to be making wins off the bat, all right? Some of us have beginner's luck. Like I told you guys before, many of you have watched many of my videos, and you know that I was one that started off with $500 some inside of my account, and within 30 to 45 minutes, scalping the market. This is way before I turned into a long-term trader. I took the $500 some account up to $1,800. Just for the next 30 to 45 minutes, my account was wiped out of the $1,300 that I just recently profited. And then by the next morning, my account was totally gone. All right, so you know, that has a lot to do with, you know, not having a plan, and just, you know, that was part of number one, my volume control. I was trading in one direction at one set volume, and then when the trade went against me, I increased it and went the other direction, and it never found profit, and then I was just increasing the volume again, and I didn't realize how to trade the market. So which leads into our next topic, which is very important. If you do not have a realization of how to trade the market, then I don't expect you to know volume control, and I surely don't expect you to have a plan in place. So without the key ingredients of how to trade, that means you should not be trading live, all right? So another way to fail at Forex is live trading before mastering demo. Now, that's something that's very important, all right? I teach my students to get on demo. You have to master your demo account, all right? And without that mastery, without you, see, everything goes hand in hand in Forex, just like the world. Everything is connected somehow. And if you do not practice, just like as a child, you want to learn how to ride your bicycle whether you have training wheels or not. And the first time you get on, you may fall off. Let's say you take the training wheels off. The first time you get on, you may fall off. Well, the more and more you get on your bicycle and you learn how to balance yourself, that's when you gain the confidence. You know, when you're able to put that one foot on the pedal and you're able to put the other foot on while at the same time balancing yourself, and you can go around at the same time, once you get that rhythm going and you gain that confidence, then everything else just falls right into place, all right? So it takes time to practice, all right? You need to practice how to trade the market. If you just learn a new system, you know, just like anyone coming aboard the So Darn Easy Forex movement, I don't push you into live trading. I don't do that. That's not the way that you're supposed to trade the market. You learn the system first on demo. Once you master it, what does that do to your mental? All right, because a lot of traders, and I'm getting more into the Forex psychology, which is a huge part of trading the market. But what happens when you do not know how to trade the market? All right, what happens is you think of yourself as being a failure when you have a loss. So what I've done was I've manipulated your thinking into teaching you the same material over and over again. And what does that do to your mental? All right, the more and more you hear and see the same thing, you're going to gain confidence in it. All right, and the more and more you do the same thing, everything is going to be repetitive. So if you learn to trade the market on demo and you learn to gain the confidence, all right, what does that do to your thinking as far as being fearful and doubtful and just, you know, just being anxious? All right, most of that dissipates. All right, and then you become confident in your move. You know what, I've seen this before. I already know what it's going to do. So that's what I teach my students. All right, so you have to master the demo. You have to go demo first before you go live. You know, I do not teach my students to do anything other than that. Go demo first. All right? I don't care if you're a master at trading the market. I want you, if you're starting out with me, I want you to demo my strategies first. Once you see that it works on demo, that's when you can take it live. All right? Very important. Very important. One of the biggest things that people fail to do that helps them become a failure is and I'm going to write this one down as well, and it is, let's say, no backtesting. All right? Now, backtesting is very important in the market. All right? One of the things that you have to remember as a trader is when you are trading on the market, you have to find that one pair of pairs that you are comfortable with trading on the market. All right? And that's something that I teach my students. Find your pair of choice, backtest it. You have to learn your pair. All right? You have to learn the levels. You have to learn, how this market responds to certain setups. What's likely to happen when the market reaches a certain level. What's likely to happen, during an engulfing candle or a pennant, or just any type of formation that you might see in the market. What's likely for that particular currency pair to respond. All right? So you backtesting a market, it makes you more familiar with the ebb and flow of that pair. All right? Just like in a relationship, in a relationship you learn your significant other's moods and behavior and patterns, and once you learn that, you become more confident in knowing, okay, this is what he or she likes, this is what I'm going to do, to help them, or whatever it might be. So that's a very, very important step there to actually practice in order to not become a failure. All right. Another thing that I believe that's important to go along with this list would be, and this is something that I think that many traders have this issue with, and it is trading all the time. All right? Now, that's something that, depending on the person, everyone is, in their own world in terms of trading. I happen to trade the London and New York sessions. I don't trade any other sessions at all. I might look at the charts, but I don't trade them. I don't open or close any trades during the off sessions. Just the London and New York. And because of that, it allowed me to, and which is our sixth way that I'm going to, our next reason or way that you can become a failure, I'm going to put that up there, but this goes hand in hand with that. But when you are trading the market, all right, and you're not, let me just say it, when you're not disciplined, that's what I'm going to put as number 6. All right, when you're not disciplined, all right, and you're just trading all the time, all right, well, when you're not disciplined, because of the fact that you're not disciplined, it's going to cause you to trade all the time. When you follow a discipline, you can develop certain habits of, I'm only going to trade during these 2 sessions, or I'm only going to trade during the New York because I know that, or I'm only going to trade during the overlap of the London and New York because that's when the market is really jumping. So that's what I tend to do. I only trade at certain times of the day. Any other time it's not for me. I don't care to trade. All right, and that's something that's very important when you're learning how to trade the market. Where you're gonna learn your position in the market. You're gonna see certain pairs that you want to trade, and you're gonna realize the best times to trade them, and you're not gonna deviate from it. And hopefully you won't. But if you find yourself trading all the time, it can really, cause you to think that there's a setup when there isn't a setup, and you're going to find yourself winning and then giving the money right back. Sometimes it's best to just, when you make profit, take it and be done with it for the day, and just be happy that you made something, because $5 is better than losing 500. Okay? $5 profit is better than losing 500. All right? So that's any day. Now, like I said, the next one is discipline. Very important. Discipline is very important. All right? When you develop a discipline in the market, all right, there's nothing that can divert your attention or take you out of your mind frame of, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. All right? Now see, when you develop the plan or the system, it goes hand in hand with discipline. So when you develop the plan, when you develop a system, as long as you're following that system, you're in alignment with the discipline. All right? But when you go against that discipline, you're not in alignment. You're not in alignment. So it's amazing how all of these pretty much work together. All of them. All right? And so discipline is very important. You guys have to develop some type of discipline, whether it's a system for when you increase your volume, volume control. You got to have a discipline. If you're not disciplined with volume control, you're going to find yourself making money and giving it back, or never making profit at all. All right? And let me think. Poor volume control, no plan or system, live trading before master and demo, no back testing, trading all the time, discipline. I think that besides the psychology, all right, I could say, people who, a good way to fail is being greedy. I could tie that in, but that's probably a different. That is a valid way to find failure in the market. It really is. But I want to say that pretty much ties into poor volume control, because it's really dealing with the monetary side of things. If you're greedy or really disciplined, everything ties in. All right, but definitely, being greedy will cause you to find failure in the market quite easily. All right, so these are my 6 ways to realize failure in the Forex market. All right, and hopefully my examples have helped you guys realize some of the things that might be needed for you to get away from, in order for you to realize a nice flat plane of success in the market. All right, there's nothing like being able to find success, having a system in place, and going forward, instead of going forward, taking 1 step forward and 2-3 steps backwards. All right, in the same week, that you'll never get ahead. All right. So until next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Listen, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. I look forward to helping each and every one of you from all across the world. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.